In this lesson, I'm going to go over the word you. There are three types of you in Spanish, so we're going to go over those along with a brief introduction to the subject pronouns. So, what is a subject pronoun? Well, first of all, what's a pronoun? A pronoun replaces a noun. So, think pro replacing a noun. Okay, well, what's a noun? Let's keep breaking it down. A noun is a person, place, or a thing, or an idea, abstract idea, or thing, anything. Okay, so a subject pronoun then is a subject pronoun is a person. Like the king's subjects all kneeled before him, right? A subject is a person, place, or thing, and we're replacing it with a pronoun. So instead of saying the dog, I say he or it, right? Instead of saying my name, I say I. Instead of talking about Sarah, I say she. So we're replacing the person's name or the person. All right, so, and in Spanish, objects are also replaced with pronouns. So instead of saying like el coche, I can say he. We do this in English actually. For like boats and cars, we say she. I don't know if you've ever heard that or not, but sometimes people will refer in the feminine to their boats and cars. So although it sounds a little strange to us in Spanish that these nouns have female and male, we actually do this in English as well. So let's go ahead and start with our subject pronoun chart. We have I, you, he, she. There's another you right there. And the subject pronoun video will be separate from this one. This will just be about tú, usted, and ustedes, and vosotros. And I tend to always forget about the vosotros form because I studied in Mexico and we don't use it there. So, but there are actually 4 different ways to say you in Spanish, and I said there were only 3, so you can tell where my educational history is. All right, so out of these subject pronouns, right, we're replacing people's names with a pronoun, replacing. There are 4 ways to say you. On this side are single people, and over here are groups of people, right? We have I, you, he, she, you, we, y'all, they, y'all. All right, so let's talk about just these 4 in purple. So that's your pronoun chart that you're going to use to conjugate all of your verbs throughout Spanish class. Again, the subject pronoun explanation is in a different video. Right now we're just focusing on 2, usted, vosotros, vosotras, and ustedes. All right, and this is an abbreviation for usted, ustedes, abbreviation. In case you don't know that, let me write that down for you. All right, so continuing on, 2, these all mean you. Just some of them are singular and some of them are you all, or you might say y'all. Up north we say you guys. I've even heard some places that they say you guyses. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not. I've never heard it, but I've heard that other places do say that. So 2 is going to be the informal you. What does that mean? It's somebody that we know on a first name basis or somebody who's at the same status level as us. So a friend, your sister, a sibling, so anybody who's on the same status level or that you know well, like your parents, you would say too. Okay, we would be informal with our parents. Usted, on the other hand, is you, but it's formal, meaning that we would use it with somebody in a higher status. So like your professor, your boss, the president, the principal, the police officer, the judge, you would say like your honor or sir. You would use the usted form to address them, you, if you're talking to this person, right? All these we're talking to someone, obviously, because we're saying you. It's just that am I saying an informally you, like I know you on a first name basis, or am I being formal and I'm saying the usted form to show respect. Vosotros is only used in Spain. And what they do in Spain is they use vosotros and ustedes, and in Spain the vosotros is y'all. I'll just say y'all informal since I'm in Georgia. Y'all informal. And then they use ustedes for y'all, formal. So they actually differentiate between formal and informal of the plural, you, all. In the rest of Latin America, we don't differentiate. We just say y'all with ustedes. Again, it could be y'all, you guys, you all, and so on. However whatever your dialect is. So again, most people will confuse the ustedes and they will think that it's only formal. It's only formal when we're using it in Spain. So it's the formal y'all, only in Spain. All of the rest of Latin America uses you all to be both formal and informal. It's not even differentiated. It's just y'all. If there's more than one you, it's y'all. It's ustedes. Okay? Only in Spain do we separate these two out and switch them to vosotros, informal, ustedes, formal. All right? So when we're talking about our introductions, which is usually the first week of Spanish class, you say, ¿Cómo estás tú? How are you? Would you say this is formal or informal? Pretty easy question. It's informal. So this person is asking how are you to somebody that they know on a first name basis, or somebody who's the same status, like another student. Maybe they would say, ¿Cómo estás tú? All right. If I'm a student, I'm talking to my professor, I would say, ¿Cómo está usted? And we'll talk later about why that's está instead of estás. That verb is also going to change. It's in a different category on your verb chart, on your subject pronoun chart, right? It conjugates differently there. We'll get into that a little bit later. And remember that UD is an abbreviation for usted. ¿Cómo está usted? And this means that I'm showing a sign of respect. It's like saying sir, Mr., Mrs., right? I'm saying you, but I'm saying it as a sign of respect, somebody who's in a position of authority or somebody whose status is higher than me. And when I say status, I just mean like employee to boss, okay, for example. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Okay, again, the verb changes. We'll go into that later. But now we're saying, how are y'all? Now, if I'm in Latin America, all the countries in Latin America, ustedes, again, they don't differentiate between formal and informal. It's all the same. So they're just saying you all. Whether it's a group of bosses or a group of students or friends or family members, it could be a mixture of bosses and friends. People they know formally and informally that they want to address formally and informally would be ustedes. Only in Spain are they going to say vosotros, like the teacher addressing the class. How are vosotros? How are y'all? And in Latin America, they would say, ¿Cómo están ustedes? In Spain, they would say, ¿Cómo estáis vosotros? Or vosotras, depending on if it's all girls or all guys, or a mixture. If it's all girls, we go to the female form. If there's even one guy in a group of 100 girls, we switch to the male form. That's just the way it has always been. So that's the grammar rules for Spanish. It's going to switch to the male form if there's one male in the group. It can only be in the female form if it's all girls. All right. So those are a brief explanation of the 4 types of you. And again, the vosotros is very specific, only in Spain. And you do have different verb conjugations for each of these, which again, we'll get into later. Hope this video helps.